Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Gediminas, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to this training this evening. We've got some pretty exciting stuff to share with you guys this evening. We've just come back from the Las Vegas, Nevada, from a 3-day training at the Paris Hotel in Las Vegas with our superstar trainer Eric Worre, where we attended an event called Most Powerful Women in Network Marketing. So it was a 3-day full-on event. So of course, over this training, I won't be able to share with you everything what we've learned, but I did sort of make a note of some things that I'd like to share with you guys, that I'd like to pass on to you, and hopefully you're going to find them useful in your business. I think this is going to be definitely 2-part training, if not 3-part training. So we're going to go on for the next hour or so, and then we're going to wrap up, and then next Sunday we'll do part 2. Okay, so let's crack on. If you can hear me okay, if you could let me know in the chat that you can hear me okay, that would be awesome as well. So again, we had a whole variety of speakers there, but most people either 6-figure earners or 7-figure earners, meaning making over $1 million a year in network marketing, teaching us over these 3 days. So it wasn't just somebody who read a book and decided to do a training for us. It was actually people who have built really successful businesses, sharing their ideas, etc. So the first point sort of that Eric talked about was the freedom. You know, probably the ultimate thing that we want to get out of network marketing, and that we can get out of network marketing, is freedom. Is basically being able to do what you want, when you want, where you want, never having to worry about finances or money again in your lifetime. That's, I think, the ultimate freedom. But what does it consist, and how can you get the freedom in your network marketing business? Because it sort of sounds to be elusive. You know, not everybody get to that level of freedom, etc. So there's actually 4 parts for freedom in your business. And part 1 is selling. Now, I know in network marketing, people like to, disguise it or use fancy words, oh, we're not selling, we're recommending, we're sharing, we're not saying. But in essence, at the end of the day, sales make everything move in this world. So if sales didn't happen, nothing would move in this world. No lorries would be driving, no shops would be open, no etc. You know what I mean? So everything has to be sold. So in your business, again, it comes down to movement of products. So they say if you can move products, you can make some extra income. If you can teach other people how to move products, you can make a pretty good income. But if you can move people, then you can definitely make a very, very nice income for yourself. So first of all, it starts with selling, and how much product is being moved within your organization. So how much products are you using? How many products are you selling personally to other people? And how much products is your team members selling? Okay, so that's number 1. The second part of getting to that freedom in your network marketing is recruiting. Because we all know if we were just selling, then that would be a job, not a business. So we need to get other people involved into this business in order for us to get closer to that freedom in network marketing. So building a team and sharing that vision with that team is vitally important. And almost it could be other way around, sharing a vision with people and then recruiting them and then building a team. You know what I mean? So sometimes we try to recruit people without sharing that vision with them, and it is important to share that vision with people to where it could become, what it could become, where it could get to, because a lot of people where they are right now in their life, they're not happy, and if you just share that vision where they could get with the help of your business opportunity, that might just help them to get there, right? So that's number 2, which is recruiting. And most people actually just stay there. Selling, recruiting, selling, recruiting, selling, recruiting. And it's like a bucket with a hole at the bottom. As fast as they come in, at same speed, they're going out. And they never get to that freedom because they're only using 2 pillars of the 4. So the third pillar for freedom in your network marketing business is duplication. So building independent leaders is what causes duplication. Because duplication in its essence is other people doing what you're doing, copying you, right? But how many of you ever felt in your network marketing business that you are the only person doing the work? That you are the only person selling the products? That you are the only person recruiting the people, right? Well, that means there's no duplication in your business. Well, if there isn't duplication, then what can you do? Well, you can start developing independent leaders. So again, it's easier said than done, but it's all about helping your people become independent. And I really like the show, tell, show, try, do system. You know, you tell somebody what to do in network marketing, then you show them how to do it while they're observing you, then you let them try do it whilst you're observing them, and then once you're happy with how they do it, you let them do it by themselves. But there's too many of us, we want to be the mommies, we want to be the nannies, we want to be the babysitters, and we're holding everybody's hand, and we're doing everything for everybody, and we're thinking we're doing such an incredible job. But actually, if you're doing everything for your team members, then how to say it nicely, you don't wish them to become successful. If you're doing everything for your team members, you wish them to fail in this business. Because if you're doing everything for them all the time, they will never become independent. They will never become real leaders. And if that's the case, then you're always going to be doing everything by yourself, because you'll never have real leaders. So building those independent leaders is vitally important for your duplication, which is vitally important for you to get to that freedom. And then number 4, I think, is the most challenging one of all. And the word in itself, it's been overused. And number 4 is leadership. And you know, I think in network marketing, we sort of killed that word to death. Because, you know, somebody joins your business, they recruit one person, and they're a leader now. Are they? Are they though? Are they a leader already? Right? I think leadership takes a bit more than just bringing somebody in a business. You know what I mean? So leadership, first of all, yourself becoming a true leader, yourself developing your leadership qualities all the time, but then also helping other people to become leaders, real leaders in the business. And guess what? Leadership, a lot of leadership is firefighting, is troubleshooting, it's dealing with issues, with challenges. And we all, you know, prefer a world without challenges. We all prefer a world without difficulties. We all prefer the world where all the products are always in stock and nobody is leaving the business, nobody is arguing with anybody, everybody is friendly, everybody's helping everybody, everybody just going up with their rank, everybody's sales just going up, never goes down. We all would love that, right? Well, like Jim Rohn used to say, when you have your own planet, you can make it your own way. But since you're living on this planet, guess what? There's going to be challenges, there's going to be problems, there's going to be issues, there's going to be difficulties. It is a natural part of the business. So you just have to learn how to deal with it. And that's part of the, you know, being a leader, you know, is dealing with the challenges. Another big part of being a leader, I think it's relationships, is how do we communicate with other people? How do we empower other people? How do we find the sparks, you know, the little sparks of fire inside people and get them on fire, and so on and so on. So it's the biggest challenge in network marketing. But if you can get to that, where you become a true leader, true influencer, true authority in your network marketing business, you can definitely do a lot of work and you can definitely get to that freedom. Okay, so these are the 4 parts of freedom in network marketing. And you know, a question was asked, what if you were building a business that will last 1,000 years? What if you were building a business? Think about it. You're going to live, you know, 100, maybe 110 if you're really pushing it, right? But what if you were building a business that would last 10 generations? So long after you're gone, long after they forgot about you, 10 generations from now, your business is still going. What if you were building that type of business? Would you do anything different from what you're doing right now? Would you treat your business in a different way? Would you treat your people in a different way? Would you do anything else? So think about it, because I think there's more and more and more people in network marketing who are treating this as a sort of flyby, as a, you know, grab and run business. You know, I'll just get in, I'll just get as many fast start packs done, you know, or whatever, and then I'm jumping to the next one. You know, and then I get in, I get as many people to buy into, you know, the biggest pack, and then I'm jumping to the next one. You know what I mean? But what if you were really building a business that you're going to be in for the rest of your life, and that your children are going to do it for the rest of their lives, and then their children are going to do it? How would you build that business? How would you treat that business? I think you'd do it differently, right? So this is something to think about, right? And what you have to understand that before people buy your product or your opportunity, they first of all have to buy into you, right? So before people buy your product, before they buy your business idea, they first of all have to buy into you. So what sort of vibes am I, you know, showing? What sort of vibes am I sending to people? You know, if you came onto my social media, would you be impressed? Would you be interested? Or would you be put off? You know, is the things I'm saying, is the things I'm doing causing more people to be attracted to me, or less people be attracted to me? You know, so all of those things, you know, the first impressions, the way we communicate with people, we have to work on that craft, because first of all, somebody has to buy into you before they're going to buy into your business opportunity or your product. And that's where I really loved the quote that one of the leaders used, Angel Fletcher. She said, spend less time being interesting and more time being interested. Spend less time being interesting and more time being interested. I think in network marketing, we sometimes lose the track of this, and we become very interesting. Sorry, you know, we blow our own whistle, we tell about our accolades, and we tell about how many millions we've earned or not earned or whatever. You know what I mean? How great our company is and how great our product is and all of that. And we are trying to be interesting. Instead, we should be interested. We should be listening more to that person, asking more questions, hearing them out, learning what are their needs, what are their requirements, what do they want in life, what are their dreams and aspirations, what are their goals and ambitions, you know, what do they like to do in their free time, what do they hate maybe about their current situation, about their job or whatever. You know what I mean? They say God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, because we should be listening more and talking less. But in network marketing, we just love talking. Most people who get into network marketing, they just love talking, right? So we can talk, you know, all day long. But actually, if you want to build really solid relationships, and if you really want to become a great recruiter, then you want to look into how can I spend less time being interesting and more time being interested, asking questions, having genuine conversations. You know, one of our team leaders today posted a post about her, you know, making contacts, talking to people, building relationships. And again, I commented in that group as well, you know, that it's all about us looking for friends instead of looking for business partners, instead of looking for distributors. So when you're out there, instead of getting out there to look for distributors, to look for dollar signs, right? Instead, why not go out there looking for friends? What if I wanted them to be a friend? How would I approach them? If you wanted somebody to be your friend, would you approach them in a different way than how you're approaching them if you want them to be your distributor? Because it shouldn't be. You should still be trying to build a relationship, get them to know you, trust you, and like you, right? That's how you build friends. And guess what? That's also how you're going to build great customers and great business partners. But when you go out there looking for friends, then you don't have that hidden agenda, you know. And some of those friends will turn into customers. Some of those friends will turn into your business partners too, right? And it's about, sometimes it's also about getting, you know, a bit organized. You know, one of the things that Angel shared, that she said, I have an Excel spreadsheet, you know, and I don't know how many of you know about Excel, right? But it's just like a software on your computer where she goes, I have different tabs. So I have a tab, you know, that says cannot afford tab. So all the people who tells me I can't afford it right now, she puts them on this tab. All the people, you know, the other tab is not right now. So anybody she speaks to, they goes, hey, not right now, etc. She puts it on that tab. You know, anybody, you know, she speaks to and they go, you know, I'm pregnant, right? She'll put it, you know what I mean? So she segments her prospects. And again, you know, for some of us, it's like, oh my gosh, that sounds like a lot of work. But guess what? She made $3 million last year. Maybe worth starting an Excel file or worth starting, you know, in your diary, maybe getting a page for people who said, I'll think about it. Maybe getting a page for people who said, I can't afford it. Maybe getting a page for people who said, you know, later or whatever. You know what I mean? So just really keeping track of what you're doing, who are you talking to. And she takes it to completely another level where she literally, like, she makes notes about everybody. You know, she knows people's birthdays and she knows what they like, what they don't like. You know, she sends them, you know, birthday cards and things like personalized birthday messages and things like that. And a bunch of that stuff we could do too. You know, it's just, is it worth it? Do you actually want it bad enough to get organized, to get so, you know, detailed in your business, right? But that's important things, right? The other speaker we had is an incredible firehouse lady, power lady, a lady called Stefania Logaro. And she spoke about beliefs. And there's actually, in network marketing, you need to have certain beliefs in order for you to stay strong in your business, in order for you to keep building your business. And there's actually 6 beliefs that she spoke about. And the first belief is the belief in the profession. So do you have a belief in this industry? Do you believe in network marketing? Do you understand this industry? And again, if you don't know much about network marketing industry, there's plenty of things you can do. You know, there's plenty of you know, videos you can watch on YouTube that talk about network marketing industry with, you know, guys like Bill Clinton and other successful people promoting network marketing industry, also attending those types of events. But what we just been to, you know, the event we just attended, the most powerful women in network marketing, it wasn't our company event. There were people from 80 different companies in that room. But that's what builds your belief in the industry, because your company might be still a small company and or your team might be still a small team. But when you go to an event like that and you see thousands of people from different companies and thousands of them making incredible incomes, etc., you realize that there's a pattern. Network marketing is a great industry. Network marketing is an industry where you can make huge money, right? So again, it helps you to build that belief. So first belief is the belief in the profession. The second belief that you need to have and work on is the belief in your company. So do you believe in your company? And how can you build that belief in your company? Well, one way to do that is go to the HQ, go to the distributor center, go to the company events, etc., when they happen, so you can see what this company is about. Go to the national convention, go to the international convention, you know, where you see people from all over the world in your company come to one place, right? Meet the team, meet the people behind, you know, who are the people who started this business and so on. Number three, the third belief is the belief in the products. And you have to have an unwavering belief in the products. You know, I was listening to an interview that Eric Warren did with the network marketing attorney. So this guy basically advises the companies how to make sure that their companies are 100% legal, etc. And I love the way, when Eric Warren asked him, he said, what would you advise if somebody was looking to join a network marketing company? What would you advise? And you know, his number one advice, and this guy is a legal guy, you know, right? He's a lawyer, he's an attorney, he fights for companies in courts and things like that, right? You know what his advice was? Find a company where you love the product, because there's only so many ways to split the dollar. Find a company where you love the products, because there's only so many ways to split the dollar. You know, so many people are into, the latest marketing plan. Oh, this company pays 17 levels down and quadruple matrix, extra bonus here and extra side bonus there. Who gives a crap? right? At the end of the day, this is still the same amount of money. It's still whatever. You can change marketing plans, get 1% extra here, 2% extra here. But the idea is, if you want to become successful in the business, you have to be fired up about these products. Because if you're not excited to share about the product, hey, what are we talking about? What payments, what marketing plans, etc. Right? So how do you get the belief in the products? Well, first of all, by using them. You should be using as many of the products as possible. You should be using all the products that you can use. For me, my favorite, of course, is all the hair care products, the shampoos and the hair oils, and, the ones that make them, curly, especially, and things like that. You know what I mean? So you have to be into your products and then sharing your products with other people. Now you might say, well, how is that going to build the belief? But when you actually share your products with other people, that means sell them, right? When you sell your products to other people, and if you do it properly, you should be doing customer service, which means you should be talking to those people after they bought products. So how did you get on with it? Did you like it? How did you use it, etc., etc. And when you start getting that positive feedback from your customers, guess what? That's also going to build your belief in the products, because now it's not only you who likes these products, but a bunch of people who likes these products, who are not biased to tell you that they like, because they're just the customer. They don't care about your feelings. If they don't like it, they're going to tell you they didn't like it, right? So that's belief number 3. Belief number 4 is to believe in yourself. And you probably heard it before, but I'm going to tell you again. You are good enough. You are beautiful enough. You are smart enough. You are everything enough to succeed in this business. We had few panels at Most Powerful Women, and my favorite panel of all was the $1 million earner panel. So there was about 6 or 7 women who last year made over $1 million, and some of them for years they've been making over $1 million a year, right? And the theme that came from that panel, from those 6, 7 women, is that we shouldn't be here. Not me, them. They shouldn't be on the stage. Why? Because statistically, or how everybody thinks, they should definitely not be $1 million earners. One of those women, her name is Stormy, and she was telling her story. And oh my God, that lady, when she was growing up, when she was a kid, her mom was a drug dealer. She's an African-American woman. And when she was growing up, her mother was a drug dealer. Then in her life, she was a drug dealer. She was a shoplifter. She was a stripper. She was a single mom, and you name it. Like all the bad things you can think about, she's gone through it. And she goes, statistically, I should be dead or I should be in prison. I shouldn't be on a stage, $1 million earner. You know what I mean? But she was hungry. And there was other women who gone through incredible challenges in their lives. And I was sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, what is my excuse? If she gone through what she gone through in her life, became $1 million earner, what is my excuse? You know what I mean? But maybe that's it. Maybe sometimes we are too comfortable. Life has been too easy on us. We are too settled, well, I have a roof over my head, I've got food in the fridge, and I've got a paycheck coming in, and I've got a car and a petrol in the car, like there's not enough pain maybe in some of our lives in order for us to go crazy, in order for us to go hustle, to go grind, in order for us to go and chase that dream. You know what I mean? Because a lot of those women on the stage, oh my gosh, they had some challenges. But if they had such big challenges and they overcame them, then us definitely. So believe in yourself. You have everything what it takes to become $1 million earner or £1 million earner. Belief number 5 is you need to believe in people. So I know you've been let down in your life. I know you've had some people in your life who were not great. I know you've had some people who promised things and they didn't, do what they promised, and so on and so on. But you cannot lose faith in the people. You have to keep believing that the next person you speak to is going to be your diamond. That the next person you're going to speak to is going to be your Jasper star. Because people have been beaten down in life so many times that they have lost the belief in themselves. So when you're speaking to somebody about your business, 9 times out of 10, they don't believe they could succeed in your business. And if you don't believe in them, if you also think, probably they're not going to make it. Look at my last 3 people that I brought in, they didn't do anything. Probably this one not going to do anything either. You know what I mean? So they don't believe in themselves. You don't even believe in them. What is the chance on earth do they have to succeed in your business? No chance. So as a leader, again, you have to be so much on fire that you ignite the belief in them. You say to them, you know what, Alice, I know you can be $1 million earner. You know what, Nen? You have everything it takes to succeed in this business. You know what, Mabel? You have greatness inside you, and I see it. You just have to go put it in. You know what I mean? So you fire them up. Where they eventually they start going, you know, maybe he's right. Maybe she's right. Maybe I could definitely do it. You know, because it happened to me, guys. When I first started, I didn't believe I could make it in this business. I didn't believe I could be a speaker or a trainer. You know, the first presentation I done, I stood up, my mind sat back down. You know, my hands were shaking, I was sweating, I was red, you know. I could not present to save my life. But you know what? After that horrible presentation that I did, my sponsor came up to me and she said, well done, amazing, fantastic. And for many, 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 many weeks and months after that, my sponsors would keep saying, oh my gosh, you have a future in public speaking. Oh my gosh, you're going to be a personal trainer. Oh my gosh, you're definitely going to be a speaker. Oh my gosh, you're going to... Way, long before I ever spoke in front of people, long before I ever, you know, did presentations in front of 50 or 100 people or 200 people and so on. You know what I mean? But that ignited that belief in me. Because even at that time, I didn't believe I could be a speaker. Hearing those people say those things, I was like, maybe they're right. Maybe I could do this. You know what I mean? So having that belief in people is so, so vital. You know, it doesn't matter how many, it doesn't matter that the last 20 people you recruited didn't do anything, quit the business, blah, 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 let you down. Doesn't matter. The next person you're recruiting, you have to believe like they're going to be the top earner in the world. Like they're going to be crushing it and they're going to be at top of the company, right? That's the only way. That's the only way, guys. And then the last belief, number 6, is the belief in the vision. The belief that what is in your mind can become real. And one of the best examples for that is the picture of Dubai. And at this training, they showed it again. And it's like Dubai 30 years ago and Dubai today. So if you don't know, Dubai 30 years ago is just a desert. There's nothing there, literally. Like there's nothing there. It's just a desert, sand. That's what's there. And 30 years later, Dubai today is skyscrapers, fountains, rivers, and it was a desert, guys. But somebody had the vision. I don't know, his name is like a king of the Arab Emirates. He had the vision that in this place, we're going to build the city. We're going to build a city like no other. And they did. So before it was a reality, it was in somebody's head. And guess what, guys? Everything around you was once in somebody else's head. The car you're driving right now, it was once in somebody else's head. And they decided, you know what? Let's make a car like that. And they made it. The phone you're using or computer you're using right now to watch this training was once in somebody's head. Like most of you are old enough to remember. Like 20 years ago, we were calling like that. We hated people with a 0 in their phone number because we had to go all the way around, right? Right? Young people don't even know what that means, right? But you remember that. You remember that, guys. And now, 20 years later, you're sitting and your phone has more processing power than the biggest computer in them days. Like in them days, the calculator used to be the size of a room. A calculator to do like 2 + 2, 5 divided by 3. You know what I mean? And that's progress. But it was in somebody's head before it became a reality. So everything around you was once in somebody's head, and then they said, let's make it. Let's produce it. Let's go after it, right? So if you know that's true, because it is, it's a fact. If you know that's true, so why are you rejecting your dreams? Why are you rejecting your goals? Why are you rejecting your ideas? Because when you're making your goal setting, when you're dreaming and you're thinking, oh, no, I could never make that money. Oh, no, I could never travel there. No, I could never have a house like that. Why not? If you can think it, then you can have it. If you can think it, then you can reach it. If you can think it, you can earn it. Everything before it happens in reality first happens in somebody's head. But you have to believe in it. So it's not enough to set a goal. It's not enough to put a vision board. You have to believe it with passion that it will happen for you, that you will reach it, right? When you add logic, you add emotion to it, it can create wonders. It can create incredible things, right? But you have to believe in it, right? Now, how many of you have had negative things happen in your life? Raise your hand. All right, some of you raising your hands. Some of you are lying about other things too, right? How many of you had challenges in business? Raise your hand. Okay. So more people raising their hands, right? So let me tell you a story. And this is a story about a donkey in a well. So there was an empty water well, and a donkey fell in the well. And it's quite a deep well. And the donkey started crying and, making the noises that the donkeys make, I'm not going to attempt to make those noises, right? So the donkey is crying and people are trying everything. They're trying to put ropes down. They're doing all sorts of different things, trying to pull the donkey out. But after many hours of effort, they realize they're just not going to be able to pull this donkey out of this water well. And the donkey is crying, it's distressed, it's hungry now and everything. And they make a decision to bury the donkey. They make a decision just to bury it alive, to put ground over it, and that's it, and to end its suffering. And they start doing it. The few men gather, they grab shovels, and they start pouring the earth onto the donkey. But then an interesting thing happens. As they're pouring the ground on the donkey shakes off the ground and steps on it. Then they pour more ground on the donkey, he shakes off the ground and steps on it. And before you know it, the donkey starts going up the well because they're pouring this ground and the donkey is using it to step on it, and it's starting to get out of the well. It's starting to climb out of the well. And before you know it, the donkey is out of the well. So what's the lesson in the story, guys? Well, the lesson in it, that when you're having negative things happen in your business, so sometimes people talk behind your back, sometimes people spread rumors about you, sometimes people try to diminish you, demean you, try to laugh at you, try to ridicule you, try to backstab you. You know what I mean? Whenever bad things happen, you can do two things. You can just sit there and let those things bury you. That's one way to do it. Or you can shake it off and step on it. Shake it off and step on it, right? So use those things to motivate you. Use those things to fire you up. Use those things to push you forward instead of keep you down, instead of keep you in the place where you are. You know what you mean? So just remember, next time something negative happens in your business, you just shake it off and you step on it, guys. Okay? So that's a way for you to fight the negative things that are happening in your business. Because if you come across, negative people, and sometimes, we're in this habit of preaching, we're in this habit of saving the world, but one thing that is true is that negative and broke goes together. So you cannot afford to be a negative person, and you cannot afford to work with negative people or bring negative people into your business, because negative and broke goes together. So usually when a person is negative, they're closed-minded, therefore they're usually not very wealthy as well. So for you, because you're on this live already, you're on this Zoom already, you already want to grow yourself, you already want to invest in yourself, I would advise you to resist, to stop resisting the grind. You know the grinding stone, the polishing stone. And instead of resisting that grind, instead of that, I don't want to change, I don't want to become a different person, I don't want to become too positive, I don't want to, think like that, I don't want to change, my attitude, or I don't want to change the way I communicate with people. instead of resisting that grind, instead of resisting that change, what you want to do is lean into it. Lean into that grinding wheel and let it do its work faster. So, you know, if you're noticing that your way of leadership is not working, instead of resisting the change, instead of saying, "Oh, one day it will work. One day I'll find people who will, you know, do it the way I want to do it." If you see that it's not working, why not lean into that grinding wheel? Why not lean into personal development? Why not lean into books? Why not lean into the courses and change your level of leadership so that you can actually become effective? If the way you're speaking to people, if the way you're prospecting people is not working, it's not recruiting, people are not getting interested, people are not getting curious, people are not joining your business, then instead of resisting it, instead of saying, well, if people are not interested in the way I'm saying it, then maybe this business is not working. Well, you can do that. But instead of that, why not lean into that grinding wheel? Why not lean into that personal development? I go, how can I change it? How can I become better at this? How can I, you know what I mean? So it's all about that personal development. You've heard it a million times. Network marketing is a personal development course disguised as a business. So the only way for you to progress in this business, the only way for you to get better in this business is through personal development. And I know it's crazy for me to tell this to you because you're already on the Zoom. You're already investing your time and your evening to learn something, to hear ideas. So you're already an open-minded. So I'm like preaching the converted. But you know what I mean? So look for areas in your life where are you resisting that change? Where are you being stubborn? Where are you being too rigid in your ways? You know, Zig Ziglar used to call it the hardening of the attitudes. So some people have the case of hardening of the attitudes and they need a checkup from the neck up. You know, so you need to look for those places. Where am I being stubborn? Where am I being resistant to change? Where am I being resistant to go into that grinding wheel and instead change? And you know, one of the best ways to really succeed in network marketing is that total immersion. Is that becoming almost a little bit obsessed by what you do. Is where you just really invest, you know. And just the other day, I was listening to Brian Tracy. As I was in the gym, I was listening to Eric Warren's interview with Brian Tracy. And he said, look, I don't know what you have ideas. He said, and Brian Tracy said, look, you know, he goes, last 40 years, I've been investigating successful people. I've been studying successful people, millionaires, billionaires, doing interviews with them, writing books. Brian Tracy wrote, I don't know, maybe 40, 50 books already on success, on leadership, on business, on sales, etc. And he goes, from what I've observed, from what I've seen, successful people, they work 6 days a week. They work an average of 60-hour weeks. So about 10 hours a day for 6 days a week. He goes, if you want to work 3 days a week, I have bad news for you. It's going to be very difficult for you to become successful. You know what I mean? So you have to get in it. You know, you have to get really grinding before you get to that beach money, before you get to that, you know, cocktail on the beach with palm trees and golden sand and, you know, doing nothing, etc. You know what I mean? You have to put in the work before you can enjoy that. And most successful people, they work a lot. You know, another example is like, go out one day, wake up at 4 a.m. Wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go have a walk around in your local area. I promise you, you're going to see some cars that you've never seen. You're going to see some Porsches, you're going to see some Bentleys, you're going to see some Ferraris, you're going to see some Aston Martins, you're going to see some pretty neat cars. But do you know why you've never seen them? Because by the time you get up, those guys are already at work. They're already chasing their dreams. They're already building their businesses. You know what I mean? Those guys don't sleep till 10 a.m. You know what I mean? The other thing is, when was the last time you saw a TV advert for a Ferrari or a Lamborghini? You see the TV adverts for Mazdas and Toyotas. Why? Because they know you're watching. Right? They know that guys who buy Ferraris, they're not watching TV. That's why they don't put Ferrari adverts on the television, right? They put the Mazdas and the Toyotas because they know that those are the type of people who watch the TV. Maybe there could be a lesson in it. Maybe there could be a lesson in it, right? This also was quite interesting because we said it before they said it in the training. Because when we were listening to the training, we looked at each other and we said, it's like completely different than it was last year. Like some of the speakers, a lot of the speakers were the same speakers that we had last April, but the trainings were different. The information were different. And then, of course, Eric Worre goes and says it. He says, the person that you heard last year is not the same person you're hearing this year. Because not only you have progressed in a year, the speakers, the trainers, they have progressed, they have learned, they have got information. So again, there's a lesson in it. So when you're speaking to a team member, to another leader, to whatever, and they say, hey, I've been to that training before. Hey, yeah, I've heard that bit already. Just go, hey, wait. When was it you went to that training? Oh, a year ago? Well, it's not the same speaker anymore. Oh, so it's not Gediminas? No, it is Gediminas. But it's not the same Gediminas you heard a year before. You know what I mean? And you are not the same person that was a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So think about that. So it's good to go, even if it's the same training, so go back to the old trainings that you had. Like maybe you have the CD collection that you bought years ago. Maybe you have some books that you bought years ago. Maybe you have some course. Go back and re-listen, because you are no longer the same person who heard those CDs 2-3 years ago. You know what I mean? So there's things that you'll find new. You'll find new ideas, right? And make this a family business. I know we have a lot of moms in this business, and moms sometimes have this, what they call mom guilt in the business, where they think, oh, I'm building this business, but I should be spending time with my kids, etc. But so the first tip of advice, if you are a mom, if you are a dad, and if you're building this business, first of all, involve your family. Involve them in the trainings, involve them in different things. I know one of our leaders, she's coming with the kids to the monthly training. She's coming with the kids. She's going to stay at the hotel, because she's involving her family, right? So involve your family, and remember that, like we had one of the $1 million earners say, she goes, my son, he's now like, 18 or 20 or whatever. He stood on a stage and he said, you know what? Our mom has missed a lot of football goals when we were growing up because she was building the network marketing business. But she actually helped us to get our life goals instead. So you might miss some football goals, but you might help your kids to get their life goals. You might get your kids to get their dream lives. You know what I mean? So it's important to understand that you do this business for your family, because your family, not against your family, not, at the expense of your family. Because all of your work, all of your effort, all of your time that you're investing in this, one day is going to give the life to your family that they could have never imagined, right? And plan your day before it starts. So, if you have a diary, if you haven't got, you should get one, right? But plan your day before it starts. Plan your week before it starts. Jim Rohn always used to say, don't start a year before it's finished. What does it mean? Well, you don't start a year before it's finished. It has to be finished on paper before you get it started, before you actually start living that week, before you actually start living that day. Now you might say, oh, that's crazy. Planning every single day, planning a year before it's finished, before it started, making it finished before it started. But think about how they build a house. Do they come to a construction site and they just go, well, start building something and we'll sort of figure it out as we go along? Or do they have a project? Do they have the whole house drawn up in detail? They know exactly how it's going to be before they start building it. Well, that's how they build a house. So isn't that how you should build your year? Isn't that how you should build your month? Isn't that how you should build your week? When it's already finished on paper, when it's already planned, it's designed, it's perfect, and then you go chase it, then you go build it. then you go make it a reality, right? And when it comes to liking, not everybody gonna like you guys, and I can tell you that right now. And actually, especially people are gonna start not liking you when you start figuring out who you really are. So when you really get that posture, when you really become confident in yourself, when you really realize what you want in your life, some people are not gonna like you, and it's okay too, guys. You just have to understand that it's okay. People, not everybody gonna like you. You're not gonna be everybody's cup of tea, and it's totally fine. And I'm gonna leave you today with some mindset pearls, right? So the first pearl of mindset is that whatever the mind can conceive, it can achieve. So whatever you can think of, and we already mentioned it today, you can achieve it. The second pearl is that you have a limited time on this earth. You know, we all think that, oh, one day, another day, another day. But if you think about it, if you have a newborn baby, you only have 18 summers with that baby, with that child, right? Before they leave your house and go do their thing, right? You only have 18 summers. That's all, right? So it's limited. Like, it's not an unlimited amount of time. So same in your business, you know, get some urgency in it. Get some rush into it, because it's not for it. I know you have enough time. You know, you don't worry about it. You have enough time, but get some urgency. Get some things moving. You know, stop wasting that time, even though you have some of it, right? Number 3, what you think about, you bring about. What you think about, you bring about. So if you're thinking constantly about negative things, if you're constantly eating yourself inside, if you're constantly, putting yourself down inside, if you're constantly doubting yourself, what you think about, you will bring about. So even if you are beautiful enough, if you keep saying to yourself, I'm ugly, I'm not beautiful, etc., you will start putting that across. If you keep saying to yourself, I'm not smart enough, then you're gonna start manifesting that. So what you think about, you bring about. So start programming positive things in your mind instead of negative, right? Start saying those positive things to yourself, right? So a couple of days ago, I've actually put a little affirmation on my Facebook wall. Later on, you can find it, but I'm going to read it out for you right now. So it's not long, but that's something you could say to yourself every morning and every evening, and you know, whenever you can, right? So let me just quickly find it. It was a couple of days back. So it goes like that. I have great inner strength. I accomplish anything I desire. I have the discipline, persistence, and determination necessary to reach all of my goals. I am confident in my abilities, and every day my confidence grows stronger and stronger. In any area of my life that I wish to change, I begin right now. I am a doer. I'm an achiever. I'm a disciplined, powerful human being. I finish whatever I start. I'm a winner. I reach all of my goals because I have great self-discipline and determination. I have great self-discipline, and every day it goes stronger and stronger. Now, I know the first time you read this, you'll say, like, yeah, it's a joke. That's not true. That's not real, right? You're not going to believe it. It's okay. You don't have to. But if you read this every day, if you read this every morning and every evening, every morning and every evening, guess what? You're going to trick your mind into believing in this. Because before, you have tricked your mind in believing the negative stuff. You tricked your mind into believing that you're not smart enough. You tricked your mind into believing that you're not good enough. You tricked your mind into believing that you're not wealthy. You tricked your mind into believing that you're poor. So you can trick your mind into this as well. Because nothing is true. It's what you make of it. It's what you say. When you're born, you're a blank canvas, right? And then you start drawing on that canvas, right? So what if you said things like that every single day? Positive. What you think about, you bring about, right? So that's number 3. And number 4, remember that every day, choose every day to get better and better. So it doesn't matter where you start right now. It doesn't matter if you're not the greatest recruiter, if you're not the greatest seller, if you're not the greatest communicator, if you're not the greatest whatever. It doesn't matter, but choose to get better. just to get a little bit better. How can I get, get better, a third of a 1%? How can I get better just slightly? Oh, maybe by learning the sentence. Oh, maybe by speaking to 3 people. Maybe by that. Maybe by practicing that, right? And remember that today is a good day to have a good day. And tomorrow is going to be a good day to have a good day. So tell yourself every single morning when you wake up, say today is a good day to have a good day. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. That's our training. That's a part 1